What is up, YouTube? That's here, bringing you guys round two from the recent Premier Challenge. I got second in at Portland, Oregon at the regionals. I think it was like a couple weeks ago, but it is that same team that I started uploading the other day with the Butterfree, with the Choice Scarf Bulu. I'm using Life Orb Lele and Arcanine. Assault Vest Arcanine as well today with Bulldoze for amazing speed control. We're going up against Angel, who has Tapu Koko, Porygon 2, Alolan Golem, a Pokemon we don't see all that often, and a Buzzwole. I think Alolan Golem is a really cool Pokemon. You can see he pairs it well with potential Electric Surge from Koko. You can see he's trying to go for like some type of Galvanize, maybe like Explosion plays. I really don't know what he's going for. Maybe it's just Double Edge, but like he looks like he wants to set up Trick Room and use Buzzwole and Golem just to like cement the victory home. It's going to be my job to stop the Trick Room from going up and just pick apart the Golem because I know how weak the thing is. I know how frail it is defensively, and it can just get like one-shotted by most special attacks in the game. So we're just going to start this off, get right into it, and hopefully show you guys how to deal with teams that like to go like Koko Porygon, for example. Because this is exactly what my opponent goes. He goes Koko Porygon, and I'm thinking, well, he can taunt my taunt user, and that would be bad. He could skydrop my Lele, pick it up so I can't taunt his Porygon. But the strength of Arcanine Lele is it says I have two things to stop your Trick Room potentially. I potentially have Taunt, and I potentially have Roar. So you might as well just attack me and try and set up the Trick Room, because I have two ways that I can stop you if I really want to. And since I do read with these Pokemon, it expresses the intent to stop Trick Room that way, because he's running a pretty hard Trick Room team. His other Pokemon, I think, were like Snorlax probably and something else. So right away, he's going to go for Volt Switch onto the Lele slot. Note that I led the Lele against the Koko to take away some of his terrain, because I didn't want the Golem just popping off on me. We see the Golem swaps in right here, and note that he did not take Life Orb damage, so that tells me that he's either Sash or Spexed on the Koko, because that Volt Switch still did a ton of damage. You see that I am going to taunt the Porygon and just go for a Flare Blitz on what was the Koko slot. I was thinking, either I'd clock a Sash, or, I would just get a one-shot on it right away if you wanted to go for like a taunt on my taunt. So that was the plan there. You see he went for the Trick Room. He was trying to Volt Switch and set up a Trick Room and then just run me over with the Golem. But remember, like I said, Golem's the most frail Pokemon in the world. It's just going to get like one-shotted from my Psychic and Terrain. And the guy was like, oh man, that's a roll. And I'm like, maybe if you had like two Assault Vests on, it would be a roll, because Lele is just the bulkiest Pokemon. I mean, even if the Golem was holding an Assault Vest, there's like no way he lives through Life Orb, Terrain, Stab boosted Psychic from a Tapu Lele. It's like the strongest thing in our format, pretty much, special attack wise. So we KO'd the Golem. We're going to see Koko come back out here. And he has a very good position. Like the Porygon is taunted, but it can just attack stuff. I can't really KO it, and I'm pretty much forced to protect with my Lele. And remember, I don't know if that Koko it has a Sash or a Specs. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna Bulldoze, give myself a little bit of speed control. Chunk the Porygon just a little bit, puts it within potential KO range next turn for a double attack if I wanted to. But what it also does is it lowers the speed on both my opponent's Pokemon and makes it so the Tapu Koko is then slower than my Lele. And since he doesn't really know that much about my Arcanine spread, it could even be slower than Arcanine. You see, he goes for an Ice Beam on the Arcanine slot, and it's going to get a Freeze there, which is pretty good for him. I think he did that because he thought I might switch out my Arcanine for Garchomp, because there's a Garchomp in my team, and that would make it so, the Ice Beam would just be a big read there. But note that I went for the Psychic onto the Porygon. He's then going to Thunderbolt my Lele. Remember, he's slower because of Bulldoze. And then Arcanine's Flare Blitz is going to melt the ice. It's a mechanic that, most players should know by now. Certain fire moves like Flame Wheel and Flare Blitz do melt ice. And I thaw the ice right there and pick up a KO on the Porygon without letting him set up Trick Room. So I feel like I'm doing pretty good here. I've lost one Pokemon, but these are his last two, and he has a very slow Koko, and he sends out the Buzzwole here, so it's like my Scarf Blue's like already faster than Koko in most scenarios, and then Arcanine just kind of checks the Buzzwole. But at this point, there's not really that much you can do. I'm just going to come with the Wood Hammer. I thought about just going for Horn Leech, but Wood Hammer has such a cool animation. We're just going to use Wood Hammer here. I love that move. And then Arcanine is going to go for a Flare Blitz on Buzzwole. And to be completely honest, like 100% honest, how does Buzzwole live this? I did not know Buzzwole was that bulky. I mean, we burn it too, which is like kind of sucks for him. But how do you just live through like a full attack Adamant Arcanine Flare Blitz? That's like ridiculous. Like Steel doesn't live through those. And he goes for the Poison Jab. Unfortunately, he doesn't KO my Bulu because I burned it. And that's actually pretty good for me because I don't get to show my last Pokemon, which was Butterfree. but remember this is a best of 3, so not revealing as much info as you could is always a good idea. So Buzzwole takes burn damage, and then from there, you know, it's pretty much, he's just going to run. So that is game 1. I'm going to input the code for game 2. I feel like I did pretty good here at stopping his Trick Room, and now that I know that I don't one-shot the Buzzwole, I think it's going to influence how I play game 2. Alright, so we are going up into game 2 against Angel. Remember last game I led Arcanine Lele, and he led Coco Porygon. This game I'm going to lead Butterfree. I felt, since I kind of rolled him last game, like I felt like I was in control most of the game. This time, I'm going to try and hit him with the Butterfree. I feel his team is definitely unprepared for Butterfree, especially if I pair it with Lele, because if he does lead Coco, I can lead Lele against the Coco, takes away the Electric Terrain, I can just put all of his Pokemon to sleep and just be in a really good spot. Note that I'm still using Bulu and I'm still using Arcanine. I use the same 4, just in a different order. He's going to switch it up. I think he took out his Porygon, because Porygon kind of got styled on, and he decided to put in Celesteela there, and he took out Buzzwole for Arcanine, which I think is another really good. I think he made the correct choices in what Pokemon to bring this game. So we're going to hop right into this one. I actually don't remember exactly how this game goes, but I think I can cast it correctly. So we're going up against Angel in game 2 in our best of 3 from Portland, Oregon Premier Challenge. We go Butterfree Lele. Like I said, my plan here is to go for like a sleep powder on something. And remember, I have Bulu in the back, so let's say he didn't lead with Coco. The threat of him switching in the Coco, I could always switch in my Bulu and then still go for sleep powders. Yeah, I remember what I go for this turn. I know that I KO'd that Golem, so I'm pretty sure if I were me, I would be Psychicking this Golem and either sleep powdering the Coco or tailwinding. And I really just think I'm sleep powdering the Coco. That sounds like a better play here most of the time, just because he is running Trick Room, and I don't really want to tailwind against a Trick Room unless I have to. I know Psychic's going to come in on Golem, because that is just the best play that you could possibly make. Psychic comes in on Golem, because yeah, I really think that I should... what do I do here? I don't remember. Yeah, so I sleep powder. Cool. That is the correct play, I think. Tailwind's always good, but you never really want to tailwind against a semi-hard Trick Room team, because, like, most of the time, you know, if they get it up while your Tailwind is still up, you're double boned. Like, there's, like, no way that you can come back from that. So Coco's going to come back out here. He's going to reapply the pressure. He reactivates the terrain, but I pretty much already KO'd the Golem. I pretty much already did everything I wanted to. I'm going to switch out Butterfree. I can use that again later and switch in my Arcanine here. Arcanine is a great Pokemon at dealing with Celesteela. Remember, it's also holding an Assault Vest, so I can fight things like Coco if I really want to, and I don't really feel too afraid. He goes for a Dazzling Gleam. He was just trying to chunk the Lele and finish off the Butterfree, as I just go for a Psychic on the Coco again, because I knew that Coco has no KO potential against Lele most of the time. And I don't think we see Sash, but he's just at 1, which is relatively unfortunate. But remember, he did take away my Psychic Terrain. So do I go for E-Speed here? I think I go Protect E-Speed, and I think that's what... Like, I don't really remember that much about this game at all. I'm, like, looking at it for the first time since I played it. So he goes for a second Dazzling Gleam. Looks like I didn't do that. Yeah, I agree with this play that I'm making in the game 2 weeks ago. I don't go for the basic E-Speed play. I go for the Protect and the Flare Blitz play. And what it kind of says, it says that I potentially don't have E-Speed. And what it also says is that, like, I need to get rid of the Celesteela before it wakes up, because remember, it was sleeping for 2 turns, and I felt like it was a very safe time to go for the Flare Blitz before it woke up and potentially, like, substitute it or does something like that. So I think it's a very good play, and it kind of shows that maybe I don't have E-Speed, because if I had E-Speed, I would have used it last turn, right? That's the standard play. So he goes for the Helping Hand on his Coco, thinking I don't have E-Speed. I then reveal the E-Speed, pick up the KO on the Coco, and then can just Psychic away into Arcanine. I don't have the Psychic Terrain, but it's still going to do a good amount of damage, and I think that's pretty much just the game right there. I don't remember if he just runs. He just runs right there. So, pretty good game. I felt that the correct play in going for the Flare Blitz on the Celesteela over just the standard E-Speed play is really good, because I did not want that Celesteela setting up a substitute. Because if it set up a substitute, we can go into Protect battles where... Is he going to protect this turn to preserve his sub? Is he going to, like, bait me in there? It just creates a lot of unnecessary 50-50s to where, since I knew I had an Assault Vest on the Arcanine, if I protected with Lele to preserve Lele for later and just made it so I attack the Celesteela, there's no way that he actually breaks the full HP Assault Vest Arcanine, and then I can always E-Speed the Coco whenever I want. And I assume that his last Pokemon was actually going to be the Buzzwole, so that's another reason why I wanted to preserve the Lele. So that is it. I win the round 2-0. There we go. I don't ever really use this screen, so we're going to use this screen. I win the round 2-0, and I'm going to be moving on to round 3 soon. I don't remember if it's next round or the round after that, but one of the rounds you're going to see a ton of really cool Butterfree usage. I think this round used a little bit more Arcanine than the other rounds. You know, I pretty much won the first game through the use of Bulldoze, and in the second game, the little mix-up of faking out and baiting with E-Speed won me that one. So thank you guys for watching. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.